Thank you so much for listening to Steph Infection. And guess what? If you like me so much, come see me on tour. I'm doing a big Filth Queen tour. Orlando, September 7th. Tampa, September 8th and 9th. Back to Canada, the motherland, on September 15th in Vancouver to the Great Outdoors Festival. Then I'll be in Sacramento the weekend after, September 21st, 23rd. San Fran the 24th. Madison, Wisconsin, October 5th to 7th. Calgary, Canada, I'm back again October 12th to 14th. Then I'll be in Las Vegas the 20th, 21st. San Diego, October 27th, 29th. And don't forget about my big goddamn show in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, December 14th at the Danforth Music Hall. Go to the link in all my bios right now and get tickets. Thank you for listening. It is another episode of Steph Infection, and I'm here with the Sklar brothers. Hi, thank you for coming.
We finally did it.
I know, I've been harassing you for a very long time.
You don't have to harass us much. We want to come.
I know, I'm so happy to be here. You know we love you. We love you.
Well, I love you guys. I love Dumb People Town.
You were
great
on it. You're so good because you
come to play. That podcast, we have found that the people who do the best on that podcast just come ready to play.
Ready to rock.
And you,
are we
you're that is your MO, I feel like, as a
You were
person.
setting up in here and you were doing bits. You were doing like chair
How
bits.
am I going to?
I was doing a lot of chair bits.
Hey,
I was doing a lot of chair
you.
bits.
I'm like, by the way, I saw the green screen behind me and I thought that I would just be a floating head for this because I'm wearing a green shirt.
And now it just looks like we're at the DMV.
Now,
hang on, I was just going to take my picture.
Yeah, you guys do have a very DMV shirt vibe going on right now.
Thank you.
God.
Was that a compliment?
No,
you said thank you.
I'm
I'm like, thank you. I was like, no.
Oh, this is bad.
No, I don't know what it is.
It's a bad thing. I don't have any Steph Tolev merch.
I am wearing my own merch.
Are you wearing your merch?
I'm wearing my own merchandise right now because I gotta sell it. I got a lot of boxes.
It's cool as hell.
I don't think I've ever seen you wear a leather jacket.
No, you did in your special.
I wear leather a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wear it
I always
all the
see
time.
I always see you in rompers.
Look, here's the thing.
Jumpers
I've made a
and
mistake.
rompers.
Yeah.
That's now your look. But then if you need to take a dump in the middle, that's a whole procedure.
Get out of a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. And I bought one this weekend in United. Lost my bag. United Airlines sucks so bad for 2 days. All my merch was gone. So that's why I'm wearing this, because now I lost that on a bunch of sales in fucking Spokane. But I bought like a last minute romper and I couldn't get it on or off because it was so snug that I was just in the bathroom with my arms like flipping behind me. Like, it's bad.
You're like, I can't. And someone's like, are you okay in there? And you're like, no, I'm not okay.
I'm not okay.
It's also like, why would this, I don't know when this became the look, but now it is. Like, people come to my shows in rompers to get photos with me.
Because
they will dress up.
Men too?
A couple have, but it's mostly women that come. They wear the rompers. I'm like, why couldn't I have just?
You chose them right. You're like, we talked about this on a podcast.
No,
you're
it's like if you're in a scene in a movie or something and you
don't
take a bite.
Don't swallow it. Don't swallow it, because for 50 takes you're gonna swallow it.
You're gonna have to eat a goddamn burger over, and then like continuity's like, we got to make 50 freaking burgers because he took a bite out of the goddamn burger. It's got to be at the same place in the burger every time.
Yeah,
so dumb.
Yeah, I did that on Bill's movie. I had a breakfast burrito, and they're like, don't eat it. And I ate 3, and then I was very sick.
Yeah. You ate 3, and then you ate 33. You were great in Bill's movie.
I was ill. I haven't even seen it yet. You guys have fucking seen it.
I saw it.
I haven't seen it. Randy
What
saw
the
it.
heck?
You're so good.
I can't wait to see it. I want to see it.
So creepy.
You guys are, yeah. You guys are great, and It's Always Sunny. I remember, I think I saw that before I met you guys.
So fun.
It was so, I'm like obsessed with that show.
That was a role for one person, and we came in and said, we started sort of rehearsing, or we were just like prepping the role. And we started, we're like, we do a bit in our act about like a morning zoo, just like 2 people. We're like, this should be a morning zoo. No offense.
No offense, writers. Yeah.
No, we said, so funny, but we're like,
in.
I'm sure no one conceived of that. And we were like, what if we just did it? Because also they probably didn't want to hire 2 people. And they're like, we'll just get
So
one.
we asked the casting, and we're like, hey, listen, we've been prepping this to help each other learn this. We prepped this thing. Can we just show it to you? We'll just show it to you, and you can tell us to fuck off, whatever. And she's like, we finished it, and it was really fun. I love what we did. We didn't change too much. We just were like in between the lines doing lots of little things. And then she's like, "Oh no, you guys are not." She was like, "You guys are not going to audition individually for this, and I'm
only
sending this in. I'm only sending this in, and you guys are going to get it." And we're like, "Oh, shut up, shut up!"
I hate. Don't say that.
I hate that.
Please don't tell us that, and then have us live with the rejection.
Yes.
Because it was a risk. That wasn't what they wrote it as, and we knew it was a risk. But
it's always hard.
But we could tell she was energized. By
she was like,
did.
"I love this." And so then when we got it, we started improvising on the set. Those guys loved it.
They loved it.
Oh yeah,
they're the best.
Oh my God.
We had so much to say and so much to do. We're like, we're gonna get in this and just bounce around and say whatever we want to say, and literally make it super fast so they can't cut out of it.
I mean, our thing also was just like the DJ voice was making us laugh, and we're like, what if one of those two DJs was going through a horrible divorce but still had the
weather on the ones? I'm not gonna see her again. Hey, lad, Q crew. Some nights I like to go into her closet and smell her own dresses. Here's a 2 for Tuesday. Q crew. I can't remember the last time I didn't shower with motel soap.
I don't know. Those didn't really make it, but there was one where like, I'm going through a nasty divorce. Yeah, Ryan, cute crew. So stupid.
Aw, look how cute you guys are.
Right?
Have you guys always been like funny together?
Yeah, I think we love. I don't know. I don't know if we've always been funny. Some would argue we've never.
Some are still waiting for us to get funny.
Yeah.
No, we've always been loved. We've gravitated towards funny people when we were little. The
bit was always funny. Like with our friends, we joined like Jewish youth groups because like that was just an opportunity for a new group of people just to like try stuff out and do stuff. And like we had friends in Kansas City that were like bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah like videographers, and they would videotape people sending messages to like the bar and bat mitzvah, and then just get regular people, put another tape in, and have just regular people's aunts and uncles say hello to us in like weird ways, like, "Hello, Randy and Jason. It's been a while since we've seen you." I mean, we don't know who these people are. We're like, and they would send it to us. It was like, these are bits we would do back and forth with our friends, not for air, not to post it online or anything. So we just love the bit. We just love the gag. Like if you're doing a joke or doing a gag. I was watching, I just saw John Early's stand-up special on HBO Max, and he did one little thing. He took it so far, and I was like, this is what we do with all of our friends. I mean, I love him. I think he's so funny as an actor and whatnot. But he did this bit. He was just like, you know how like you start talking to people and they're like, you say 3 words to them and they're like, "I can't even," and they just run away. And he was like, "I can't even." Wherever he was in Brooklyn, he dropped the mic, ran down the stairs of the stage, and like went outside. And like he opened the door and there's like traffic going on the thing, and he's like, "I can't even." He's like, "How you doing?" "I'm doing fine." "I can't even." And then he ran outside. I was like, going outside is the hilarious thing that you would do with your friends. If we were out to dinner and we just start doing a bit where like I'm gonna go all the way to my car and like I would drive.
We did the constantly saying it's someone's birthday and making them like 10 years older than they are, and like constantly embarrassing people in front of other people, and that whole gag thing. We did that.
It's for no one. It's a life bit. I call that a life bit. Like you gotta do life bits with yours. So we were into that. That's the precursor to then. That's the beginning. You do the life bits, and then you're like, all right, well, how can we now make people who don't know us laugh about things? And like that's obviously
bring them into the life bits.
The life bits.
Bring them in.
Is there a lot of twins in your family?
No.
Our mom's mom, I think, was a twin who died at birth. Her mom's mom did not die at birth. That would be weird. Yeah. How did she then have our mom?
Yeah.
No, her twin died at birth, so I think it skips a generation. That's what we were told, and
neither of you have twins.
No, but it would be our
kids could have twins.
Oh, I see. Okay. So my grandpa also was a twin. His twin died when he was born, and then my mom was pregnant after me with twins, with 2 twin boys.
Oh, shit.
So there it is.
They both died.
Oh, they
no!
both did. Shit. Sorry.
Life bit.
Life bit. That's funny bit.
It's a callback.
They're dead. That's why I keep doing. They're like,
it's a
please.
horrible callback.
Bad.
I'm so sorry that happened.
No. But then she had my sister. My sister's the best. So
yeah,
I'm almost happy.
I mean, what an optimistic choice, your mom, to try again post that. I mean, she already had you, which was a bit of a mistake.
And I was a nightmare.
I know. So you already had. I
can't see that at all.
I know.
She already had you. She already had you, but then to suffer that tragedy, but then to get sort of quote unquote, and this is a terrible way to put it, back up on the horse again.
Yeah.
Well,
and my dad's dick is big, so it is like a horse.
To get back up on the horse. For her to make make the choice to try again, even just to try. Like
optimistic.
And she was far along. I think it was like 5-6 months. Like it wasn't early on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we had that. My wife and I had a late miscarriage, and it was horrible and really hard. And after a loss, you just don't know what you're going to do. And the fact that you choose to do it again.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So we have a daughter now after that. And we're so lucky that that's who it is. And I think there would have been complications in the life of that child that we lost.
Yes,
so
that's what was,
So it would have been a difficult road anyway. And sometimes life has a way of handling certain situations.
And the twins would have both been Republicans, am I right?
Yeah.
That's kind of good that
It's also not like a lot of people are having miscarriages and they just never talk about it.
I know.
So my wife wrote a book.
Yeah.
She wrote a book called,
did
she
she?
started a whole hashtag, I had a miscarriage, and she wrote a book about it, trying to get people to share their stories. So more people are like, this happens all the time.
All the time.
Let's normalize this stuff.
Don't feel bad about it.
No.
It happens.
Speak about
it's not
it.
God trying to punish you.
So, but you know what they call a baby who's born after a loss? They call it a rainbow baby.
Oh, do they?
So that's a amazing thing, and we are rainbow babies actually too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
There's a lot of rainbow babies out there. I don't know.
It's an amazing thing, but it's optimism. Like we love that, and we talk about that a lot. We're writing a show right now that's about parenting, and it's about the optimism of just choosing to be a parent at this moment
in this world,
in this life.
Yeah.
It's almost like when the pandemic happened. Like people realized after the pandemic, I don't really have to go into an office, right? Like I don't have
to live here. Like everybody realized a lot of things.
I don't have to wear pants.
Yeah.
Like I
I
don't
don't
have
have
to
to
do
live
that
here.
shit.
I don't have to go in the office. I don't have to
Yeah.
see this couple.
Just reevaluating all the things, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things is like having kids. Like we all just kind of assumed,
Grow up, meet a person, get pregnant, have kids.
I gotta have a kid. That's my job. I gotta have a kid. And then all these people are like, wait a minute, why? Why do I have to have a kid? I don't have to have a kid. So a lot of people are choosing not to have kids, which is in some cases awesome. Because people are like, I'm glad I didn't go down that road because that would have been a horrible situation for me. Other times people are just treating it like someone invited them to go have brunch across town. They're like,
it's so far.
Am I going to like these people? You know what I mean? Like
so
that.
Expensive.
So they're just like kind of just opting out because it might be a little difficult. And for all the people who are choosing to do it, if they're on the fence, I think that's a really optimistic choice. It's kind of impressive.
There's a third option where you can't find somebody you want to procreate with.
Facts.
And then where I might be at, and a lot of my single friends at this age, where I'm like,
you want to have a kid?
I used to.
Why?
I don't think I do anymore.
Why?
Because I don't want to raise on my own. It's
Got
too much.
it.
That's the main thing, which is like a lot. I know I could. I'm not saying I couldn't. I'm not saying I need a man, but
if you found a partner who would want to do it with you, you would be like, yeah, let's do this.
yes, and then you find a partner, and then he ruins your life, and then you don't ever want to date a man again. So so that happened.
Gotta get back up on the horse.
The horse is dead, and it's underground at this point. The horse is going to visit the every
horse is
week.
glue at this point.
The horse is the glue on my shoe right now. No, so I think I'm also at the age where it's like I'm 38, and I'm like I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
I'm pushing it, and it's like I don't want to freeze the eggs because I want to have my kid when I'm 40,000 years old, and I already have a bad back, and I'm like, let's go to the dog park, and I can't even. I don't know how. Nothing wrong with these women doing this. I understand you want to do it, but I'm like, I'm already tired.
There's a lot of lip licking.
There's a lot of. I just go. I just milking my baby when my tits like on the ground. I'm like, I don't know. There's too much going on.
You don't want that. Right.
I don't want that. I like my dog. Also, I like fucking strangers. That's a difference that I had just discussed in the last podcast. I had some fun this weekend. I like having fun.
Did you have fun this weekend?
I had some fun this weekend. I had some hot sex. I had a lot of sex this week, actually.
People coming to your shows?
Yeah, he come to my show, matched on Tinder. He knew who I was.
But so how is that? So let me ask you that. Because you're a known quantity, you're a known entity.
I'm a known whore, I think you're
No.
I'm very
you
open
might be a known
sexually.
whore, but you're not a whore. You're just in control of your own sexuality and the power of the women in this day and age.
Yes.
You control it. It's great. The question is, so is that a different dynamic, the person who knows you?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, like, explain to me how you handle that. I mean, is that better or worse, or how do you feel about that?
It can be both ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my ex that I now hate so badly, was a fan,
Yeah.
and I think he knew too much about me and used that to get me in a way that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't like
fucked
it.
with that. But then this guy was like, hey, he was my last time on Tinder. I was like, he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I matched with the Steph Tolev. He's like, you're so hilarious.
That's great. That's
I know,
a huge
open with
compliment.
That. I know. He's like,
open
even
with
if we,
you're so hilarious.
Oh, so hilarious. He's like, even if we don't, even if you don't write back to me,
Right.
I'm just so thrilled that we matched. You made my day.
So that's cool.
Yes, that's cool. And I was
What
just
a
photos
nice-
like, well, you're hot. So yeah, I'm gonna message you back.
Okay.
You're hot
So
as hell. Yeah.
the take it for what it is, take it or leave
Yes.
it. I won't be upset. He gave you every chance
Yeah.
to be like, I don't want it.
Yes.
Which of course
yes.
makes you want it that much more.
I want it so much more.
Of course.
Or I'll get a man DMing me saying they want to hold my mullet and eat sushi out of my ass or something crazy where it's like, well, now we're pushing it.
I mean,
no, that's like, that's a different
how would that
level
even work?
I don't know. And I had one
We're talking about
fan.
low sodium soy
Yeah.
sauce or high. There's a lot of
Yeah, you
questions.
putting it on, is it on the side? Is the soy going right on there?
Assuming
what do we-
everything is a baked crab roll.
Yeah. No, there's a bit of lobster in there. I try to like. I had one fan, and he was like literally on top of me. He's like, "Does Mama like doing one of my bits to me?" And I was like, "Well, that's too much.
That's too much.
That's too much. We don't like
This
that
for the
You
stage.
That's for the
can't-
stage.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's hard for some people to really separate
that's-
it.
yeah.
But it's like I think now I'm at a point where I like when they know who I am because I don't have to explain. I do comedy and like
also,
what? And then-
you've worked
You
very
put a
hard
lot
to
of yourself
achieve.
in
Yes.
your material.
Yes.
And you've
So-
achieved a certain level of success that is like nice to be acknowledged by the other person.
Yes, and it's like also sometimes if guys see my set after we fucked up, it's like, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm insane. So it's like you need to see that what that is, and guess what? I might talk about you.
If you accept
Sorry.
that. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And if
Right.
you
So if they know what you're about
Mm-hmm.
and know what your act is and are still interested
That's
in
great.
engaging with
maybe
you,
that
then
makes
that's-
them even more interested.
But they're not too much.
You don't want to be too crazy.
Yeah, you gotta be too
have to be a
crazy.
normo at
You have to be
some
normal.
level.
Yes,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
hard to be. It's hard to be a fan and be normal,
Right.
isn't it?
because
Because I think fans are fucked.
well, I don't know. I mean, we're fans of people.
Yeah, I am too, and I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm a fan with
mean-
one band, and I'm obsessed, and I'm weird about it, and I
Who's
know
the
I
band?
am.
Who's the band?
Death from Above, 1979. They know I am. I DM them all the time. I invite them to my show in Toronto, December
And?
14th. They didn't
And?
reply.
And?
No, but
Ooh,
I've gotten
come on.
backstage with them before, and I met
Oh,
them, and I was
okay,
weird. But I was weird, and I knew.
You were
I
weird.
was so weird. No, I was weird.
Why were you weird?
I've been weird with them for years. I grabbed on his arm for a long time. Like, I'm weird. I can't. No, it's bad. I'm doing exactly what I hate people do to me.
grabbed
I'm
onto
bad.
his arm.
Yeah, I grabbed on.
Okay.
Bad.
Sheesh.
Anyways, do you guys have fans? Do you guys have like any twin sibling fans that like you?
No, and maybe that's the reason we aren't as successful as we should be, is that we didn't just straight up tap into.
Yeah.
We have some wonderful fans that we have connected.
Oh, amazing!
So because we are kind of who we are, we're very much ourselves on stage.
Yes.
A lot of times people who connect with us as fans are the kind of people that we would seek out in the world because they're sort of connecting with our material. So, there's like a father, this guy, Stephen Elton Yates in Long Island, who his son is autistic and wrote an amazing book about his son, and his daughter is awesome. And they're just like a cool family. And he's a really interesting guy, enormous comedy fan. And he's come to our shows, and we love spending time with him and his whole family. And like, he'll send us wine on our birthdays, and he just is a very sweet,
Kind.
wonderful,
Oh, I have
awesome
a friend in a guy who is a fan of our stuff in San Francisco. He always finds he knows that I have a record player. We both do. Finds really obscure vinyl and brings it to us, and it's
That's nice.
super, super nice.
And then we had a fan in Salt Lake City who was not like, who was an interesting person. Super nice, really appreciated his fandom. But there were moments where we were talking to him where I was like, oh, in like 3 days, I'm going to go home and I'm going to hear like a noise in my daughter's nursery and then walk in the room and he's going to be, I'm holding the baby for you. Is this weird? And I'm like, no! So, I mean, there's a little bit of that.
I don't think so.
No, he's a sweet
There
guy.
wouldn't be a noise though.
He's
If
a
he's a fan, he's gonna come in quietly. He's gonna be clomping in there. He's gonna really want to spook you when you get in there.
So look,
Some are nice.
A lot. The majority
Yes.
are.
I'd say I had two people fly out. One person flew from Portland. One person flew from San Francisco to come see me this weekend.
Amazing.
And they were super cool. We got a drink with them after, like
course.
chill,
Great.
nice, normal. But I think it's because you guys are like family men and you don't cheat on your wife and you love your family. Like I'm up there being like, I want to suck cock, and they're like, I'm ready to take it. Like everyone just thinks
This to
that's
me
what
is
it
like a wonderful. I know, but you are.
I don't want to suck everyone's cock.
No,
you
Well,
you get to be discerning. You get
I
to
do,
decide.
yes. But
You
because
get to
I talk
decide
about
it.
that, yes. Let's get into you guys.
Let's get into
for
it.
God's
Come on,
sakes.
this fast.
Let's get into your body stuff.
Sure.
So what are we talking here? Do we have like similar things? I don't know how to. I'm asking so many twin questions, but I'm like, do you guys have like? Do you ever that thing where you can tell the other person's like?
No.
That thing people talk about.
That is bullshit. And anybody who tells you that it's not.
Although there was one time where it's so weird. We obviously don't live
full
together.
explanation for this.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. So we live with our families. We don't live in a house together. So when we
you guys have bunk beds?
And we always wouldn't that be so weird?
We do, but in separate houses.
But look, if we're going on the road, we always go. We take the last flight out that we can possibly take, and then the earliest flight back, just so we can be home as much as possible and not on the road that much. So if there's a Thursday night show on the East Coast, we oftentimes have to take the very first flight out on a Thursday morning just to get there so we can do the show that day, so we don't have to come out the night before. So when we leave it for like a 6 a.m. flight and it's 4:45 and we're driving to the airport, usually we'll call each other just to make sure the other one's in the car.
Are you up? Are you going?
Please tell me you didn't.
It's like a very different "Are you up" than you get. You know what I mean? It's like you up? Get the fuck up now. Go to the airport.
So we'll call each other on the drive, and there was one time where I called Randy and he didn't answer, and I was like, oh, that's weird. But I just peed at my house. This is insane. I just peed like literally 10 minutes earlier on my way out the door. And all of a sudden I had to pee so badly again, and I didn't understand what it was. So I pulled into a 7-Eleven and I'm like, can I pee in here? And he's like, this is 7-Eleven. We don't have a bathroom. I'm like, what if you have to pee? And he's like, you can't do it. So I walk outside around in between two apartment buildings. It's like 4:49 a.m. And I just kneel down like I'm praying, and I pee into this, like, I don't know. I just felt bad. I don't know what I did. I knelt down. I don't know what I was.
You know what you did. You wouldn't say knelt if you didn't knelt.
I
knelt
got
down
on my
to piss.
knees. I don't know, because I just didn't want to be standing peeing. I thought maybe if someone's like got a security camera, I kind of knelt
You
to
don't think it'd be weirder if they came out and you were kneeling taking a piss?
Yeah, because it does look like you're praying
looks
to your own urine.
So I do it. I pee. I go back in my car, and then I call Randy, and
I had called him
while I was
he was
peeing.
kneel peeing.
And I call him back, and I'm like, sorry, I had to pee. And he was like, wait, I had to pee. And I was like, what did you do? And he's like,
I went between two apartment buildings and
Don't say
peed.
knelt. Don't say knelt.
I didn't kneel down, but I peed.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't believe I had to pee because I had just peed at my house. That was the only time that anything weird has ever happened between.
In general, not that. But so I have had in my life a kidney stone, and it is the worst.
You had the worst kidney stone.
The worst kind of kidney stone.
And by the way, I was completely fine the entire time. So this is why I know, like, the whole thing, he's in pain and I feel it. No way. I was great.
So we were supposed to go to a gig, and I think I had to cancel it because I'm like, I can't breathe. Something's wrong. I thought it was my appendix. I get to the emergency room, and they're like, this is not your appendix, because your appendix would be here. It's not on your back. They're like, you have a kidney stone. And so they went to like try and get it out or see what I could do. And they're like, oh, it's impacted in your ureter wall, which means it's stuck. And I'm like, okay, so what do you got to do? And they're like, we got to scrape it out. And I'm like, how?
No.
And they're like, you don't want to know how. The doctor said you don't want to know how.
You don't want to know how.
So they're like, just take this and go to sleep. I'm like, who are you, Bill Cosby? Yeah. All right, so
no. The joke is they said, take this and go to sleep. 6 months later, I'm dating Bill Cosby.
I've got a suit against Bill Cosby. All right, so
6 months later, I'm a new Huxtable.
So I'm in a colorful sweater. All right, so I go out, and I go, what did you do? And they're like, we went in through the hole. We scraped out this rock that's inside of you. They didn't show me, but they said it was big enough that it was causing problems. Then they put a stent into my penis so that it would so that the scarring area so it would go up into the ureter wall, so that the scar tissue wouldn't like merge together. It was awful. So I had to have that in there for 10 days. So for 10 days, every time I pee, it's bad, but it's almost the worst pain, because when you back up at the end after you pee and it kind of suck it back in, I'm hitting against the stent, which is the worst thing ever. Oh. Then I had to go back. Oh, this is the moment in my life when I find out that my wife was pregnant with our son. And I'm like laying on the couch, like like I'm dying. And she's like, I have great news. And I'm like, I can't get excited. You're going to think I'm bummed about the news you're going to give me.
I am excited, but if I jump up and down, I'll fuck up this stent.
There's a stent in my penis. And she was like, well.
How big's the stent?
The stent was this long, and it was made out of this sort of flexible plastic. And it kind of had like, it was straight, and then it had these two things that would like hold, it kind of kept the tube open. So then 10 days later, I after having this in me, I got to go back to the doctor, no anesthetic. I go into to my urologist's office, and he's not even the person who's doing it. Some woman walks in, and I'm like, wait, you're doing this? I'm like, have you washed up? Who are you? I don't even know you work here. We didn't even match on Tinder, right? Swiped right on you. All right, so she comes in, is swipe, which is right.
Right is right.
Right is
good.
Right is good. Left is.
Oh, I swiped left on this bitch. All right, so I'm sitting there, and they put a towel. So you can watch it on the screen.
What?
So I watch her on the screen. She's like, here's the deal. It's going to really hurt, and then it's going to be so much relief right away. I'm like, what? She takes this like hook in through my penis.
No!
And then hooks it and pulls it out. Whoop! Like she pulled a rabbit out of a hat, and I'm awake.
Did you make that sound when it came out just to make it more fun?
No, I was like, what? I screamed.
Slide whistle.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
It was so
Did it bleed
intense.
when it came out?
No,
No,
just came out straight out. I peed a little. I was something. I was like, this is. It came a little.
You're like, can I get on my knees first? I gotta take a piss.
Yeah.
Let me just.
She brought me to my knees.
Position.
Full release.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucked. That's like honestly like one of my biggest fears is having something in my pee hole.
So they.
Oh my God.
So the nurse who was dealing with me said that she had given birth to a child, and she had also had a kidney stone. And she said the
Kidney stone's
pain from the kidney stone was worse. And I was like, ooh, I can hold this over everyone in my life.
Yeah,
and
for the
any woman I ever meet, yes, I've had it worse. But she was like, and it was funny because I was, of course, thinking of like comedy at the time because I'm trying to pass the days.
Yeah.
I stayed in the hospital for like 3 days. Like I didn't need to, but I just did because I'm like, no one is going to be able to take care. That's where I first took Dilaudid. Have you ever had Dilaudid?
What's Dilaudid?
Dilaudid is a drug that feels like someone has turned on a warm shower inside of your body. So it's the best feeling in the world.
I'm like, good?
I'm like, this
sounds
is
scary.
Oh, I'm like,
Dilaudid
this
is like,
I didn't hallucinate, but it was just like, as soon as they gave it to me, they're like, we're putting Dilaudid in your IV, and I'm like, sweet. I felt it wash all down from like the top of my head all down through my body, and I felt so good that I'm like, I'm not leaving the hospital. I'm like, oh, this is how you become a drug addict. This is how it works. And it was unbelievable. And in the time I was on Dilaudid, and I was like, so this woman is so Carol Burnett has the famous comedy bit about, if you're pregnant, childbirth, the pain of childbirth is taking your lower lip and pulling it over your head. That was her joke. And the kidney stone, this woman said, was worse than childbirth. So I was like, if the pregnancy, according to Carol Burnett, is pulling your lip over your head, then the kidney stone is having to watch Vicki Lawrence do comedy.
Okay, good night. Good night.
Mama's house.
It's a great joke.
Okay.
It's a Vicki Lawrence reference.
So could you couldn't get hard when that thing was in there? There's no way.
What? No, I could barely pee.
No, I was like, I'm wondering because you can't.
No, I was in a world of hell for like weeks. Like I was in so much pain. It was terrible.
That's bad. Horrible. What? I had to ask. Guys get hard all the time. I don't know. Guys get hard right now. I don't know. You're like, no.
It's my favorite. Never my problem. It's my favorite thing. I'm like watching TV. I'm like watching The Bear with my wife, and like there's all these like Hims ED like commercials. It's like some guys have a hard time. Like, this is my favorite thing to watch. So it's like, some guys have a hard time getting hard. Sometimes guys have a hard time staying hard. Some guys just can't, keep it going that long. And I just, every time, I'm like, not me. Who? To my wife.
And she's like, huh? Has her headphones in.
Sorry. I'm listening to a podcast. Someone talking to me? Anyone but you. Anyone but you.
Not me!
Have you had an issue, a body?
So, I had hemorrhoid surgery. Which was not fun.
No.
But actually, every surgery that I've ever had, I've had 2 hernia surgeries.
Oh, fuck.
Hernia and hemorrhoid surgeries. So clearly, I'm not shitting correctly.
Yes,
but like, this is the universe telling me you're doing it wrong. Just like in this business, you're pushing too hard. I'm pushing too hard.
You're pushing way too hard.
So I had and the hemorrhoid surgery worked. So it actually worked. And
how many did you have?
Oh, I mean, I have no idea how many. I just was like, just take care of it.
They don't tell you?
I said, I don't want to know. I was like, I don't.
Bye to each one of them.
Nope. I said, I don't want to know. I said, you take care of it. You handle it.
Okay.
And he has the best name ever. I'll shout him out. The doctor, Dr. Philip Fleschner. You go to Fleschner to get your. I mean, he's like
that's the best.
It's like the great, and he is amazing and nice and cool and whatever. And he's just, but. So I had that hemorrhoid surgery and that worked, but the very first time you have to take a dump after that is like,
oh hell.
I can only describe it as like trying to carry your baby, a baby across like a rushing river across a tiny log and you're 50 feet in the air because you're like, if I go one direction too far in the other thing, it's all everything's gonna come. Like my anus is gonna prolapse. I was like,
God, did they tell you that? It could do that?
No, that was my fear that I'm like,
you're also on pain meds, right?
Yeah.
And
which
pain
stops
meds,
you up a little bit, so you kind of have to push a little harder.
And you're uninsured, right? You're not having like full meals, and you're having like smoothie type things.
So those. That and like that was very, very difficult for me. The other extraordinarily difficult time, and I have to get another colonoscopy. I have to because I'm of the age. The prep for the colonoscopy, I don't know if you've ever had one, but you just have to clean yourself out. You had to drink this terrible fluid that then makes you shit all night. You have to clean yourself out and shit all night. And I'm like, I don't want to drink this stuff, and then I just don't want to be sitting on the just everything coming out all night. I just don't want to do it because it's awesome. Painful.
Who wants to do this?
Nobody.
God,
Nobody.
My night's off. Ass on the toilet.
The
That's
actual surgery, the actual stuff, no big deal. I'm always like, I'll be under. I've done enough.
Unlike me, who had to watch them pull a stent out of my penis.
So the hernias. I had one laparoscopic, which was really not a problem at all.
Did the hernias come out and do the whole thing where it's like you can see it kind of pushed out?
No, it didn't push out, but it was just like so much pain.
Yeah.
I think I was like snowboarding and I fell, and I was like, and I was like, oh my God, that hurt. And then I was like, oh, okay, it feels like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And so then they like fixed it. They like went in with like what looked like knitting needles and like fixed it up, and then it was fine. So those are the body things that I've had. Nothing terrible, and I've broken like my foot a few times or whatnot. But
okay.
I mean, we've been lucky. I will say that like that's pretty fortunate. We're 51 years old. That's like not bad for that long of a life so far to have that be the extent of what we've had to deal with. Like
also, I love the way you're like, I don't want to do this colonoscopy thing. That's what porn stars do all the time. These female porn stars, they have to take all this shit to clean out their ass.
I know.
The anal prep is wild.
The anal prep is wild.
It's like they have to put stuff in there, put stuff out, like put a lot of like the.
They have to wax their assholes. Who would even do that?
Yeah, no, waxing the asshole feels good though.
Does it feel good?
Oh yeah, the butt feels good. The front's bad. Yeah, I've talked about this a million times. But
terrible.
If you get your ass waxed, it feels good.
It feels good to get the ass waxed. It feels like scratching an itch that you didn't know I was supposed to scratch.
And after you, honestly, I try to tell all men to do this.
What?
It's so your farts are so funny afterwards.
Are they funny?
Because
there's nothing
There's nothing there.
So it just goes.
Oh yeah, and it's higher pitched. They're
higher pitched.
I recommend this. I've said this on the Melissa B. Sonora episode. You should definitely get your ass waxed.
Okay.
Just for the comedy of the fart
Just
sound.
for like, also it's so nice to wipe back there, nothing there. It's just like it's fresh and fun.
Beautiful.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, for somebody who maybe you should.
Maybe
Mr. Hemorrhoid. Did the hemorrhoids come back or they're gone now?
They're pretty much gone.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like they're pretty much gone. But I'm happy. Everything's fine. Everything's good.
So wait, I want to know, because you guys Dumb People Town has horrendous stories.
Oh,
so you guys have had,
God.
you guys are gonna have good ones for this. Then.
So every year, I know what you're talking about. Every year, we do an episode at the top of the year
called "What Have We Stuck
in
Inside
Ourselves
of Us?"
the year before. So it's basically a
list
from the emergency rooms all across the United States of America of these are the things that were stuck inside of us, and we
start from the top of the head
and go down to every hole,
eyes, ears, nose.
No, not eyes.
Eyes, ears, nose.
So there was a woman who didn't realize she wasn't taking her contacts out, and she wound up putting like
35
No,
contacts
stop
in her
it.
one eye.
Stop
I'm like,
it.
did you have X-ray vision? Like,
Can you
No.
see into the future at that point? I don't even know what you can do. But she had so many
no,
contacts.
but like in the ass. I mean, the things that people put in their ass.
It's not so much the things.
It's the excuse
of everybody.
I slipped and fell on a shampoo bottle.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
You didn't
I
slip
don't
and
think
fall.
You slipped and fall.
You never.
You did not slip and fall on
You
a
sat
shampoo
down
bottle, and the
and
whole
it
thing went away.
in, and
No, yeah.
there's a moment where as it's going in, I'm assuming it's like making its way in, and then it's like whoop. It's almost
Yes.
like when you go to the bank and you put that old
Thing in-
deposit thing, and it goes.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because the getting, I'm sure you guys probably don't do a lot of butt stuff. I'm
No,
judging by
I
both
have-
of you.
I
Not
haven't.
big. You're not big ass.
in my butt.
No, but you guys don't seem like big ass men. But I like when you're fingering guys' butt. The outside is like kind of hard for a second. The whole is like it's
And then
tense.
it goes in.
Then the second it's in there, it sucks right
It goes
in
all the way
there.
up.
Yeah.
You're like in the throat.
Oh yeah, I'm tickling I'm up there checking the molars.
That's
There
like
you
a
go.
goddamn
I'm
puppet
moving
show
his-
out his mouth.
I'm fucking Jim Henson back there.
That contact thing is so fucking gross. Okay, there's a guy back in, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I probably have. There's a guy, he was such a drunk. He put like the 24-hour contact on his eye and left it on there. And he was just drunk for like a week in
Yeah.
the summer, left it.
Yeah, yeah.
Got so fucking bad.
Oh, my
They had
God.
a surgery to remove it.
Oh,
he had
yeah.
a cataract. He now has to wear an eye patch over his eye.
Yeah.
His eye's done. His eye is dead.
And because he
was
has
like 24.
because he has an eye patch, he has to join the Oath Keepers.
Well, and the funniest thing is his dad owns fish and chip company. So it's like
He literally is Long John Silver.
No, he is. I swear to God, it was like that company, something crazy like that.
But
where
his
it's
dick
like-
is small,
yeah.
so they call him Short John Silver.
Okay, wow.
Short
wow,
John
wow,
Bronze.
Short John Bronze. That's the name of this episode. Short John Bronze.
Is Long John Silver's illegitimate
I
cousin.
gave
my
him
God.
a Short John Bronze. It's
Sound-
like
that
that's
sounds
sticking
like-
a fish stick up some
Yeah,
guy's
yeah, yeah,
ass.
yeah.
That sounds
would be
like
hard, too
doing.
soft.
That sounds like doing colonoscopy prep and then shitting on
I thought you
someone's
said
chest.
dueling colonoscopy. prep.
Dueling
Like,
it?
it's like a dueling piano bar. It's dueling colonoscopy.
Dueling
There's
colonoscopy,
two people at the
just two
same time.
people, yeah.
See who comes out first. Oh, that's
yeah,
sick.
so
the contact thing is fucked.
So that's fucked.
Okay.
Someone stuck a Christmas ornament up their ass. Like that's you have to have a lot of
Delicate.
trust. That's
Yeah,
it's
that's-
so. It's.
I mean, I'm a Jew and my wife is Jewish and we still have a Christmas tree. And like,
Oh.
because her parents celebrated and
Excuse me?
she grew up with it. And so like, I've dropped just onto carpet Christmas ornaments and they've broken into 1,000
And then those pieces get in your skin, and,
Oh,
and
oh
you're done.
yeah.
You can't pick those up.
It's like
You're done.
fiberglass.
Yeah,
and
no, it is.
Like how, that's a lot of trust.
Yes.
I mean,
Che Duena was on here a couple weeks ago. He said somebody put an eel in someone's ass.
Oh,
a live eel.
So our
That doesn't alarm you. You're like,
no. Is it
So,
electric
no, no,
eel?
no. So
Lit
you
'em
know
up?
the story of Richard Gere putting a gerbil up his
yes,
ass, and that
yes.
was like widely thought amongst Hollywood folk as like a story. That's a
Urban
story.
legend.
It's an urban
It's
legend.
not
We
real.
don't know if he did it or not. There's a lot of we don't know if he did or not. Our friend's dad is a radiologist here, like someone we know who we've just kind of. They're friends with a friend of ours in Michigan, and her dad is, I'm not going to say his name, is a radiologist, and he was like, when that happened, and all the big radiologists who work in the big hospitals, they all know each other. So when that went down, he was like, I got to see the x-rays. I have to see the x-rays. And he got his hands on the Richard Gere x-rays, and yeah, there was a gerbil up there, and that was his x-ray. So that is for real. Can you imagine being like,
no.
My kids had guinea pigs, and I'm like, these are a lot to take care of.
I had
Now,
a
up your
hamster.
ass.
Have you seen
Up
the
your
teeth
ass.
on those things?
I mean,
Jesus.
it's gonna find a way out.
No, the teeth on a hamster alone. If that like, so the gerbil was the gerbil was dead.
Is the gerbil dead?
No, the one when in Richard Gere's ass.
No, it has to be alive.
Put it in alive. But did he take it out dead, or was it still
I
alive?
don't know.
I mean,
that's
maybe
the question we need
maybe
to
it
know.
laid eggs in there.
No.
Is that a
So
gerbil?
they were. Oh my God.
I mean, I feel terrible for the gerbil. This is
Yeah.
no
There's
one-
also Richard Gere. Hello. You can't get someone to put their fist up your ass and tickle it like a gerbil. Get a gerbil puppet. The guy's got money.
He's got money.
He's an officer and a gentleman.
He's
No, that's look. I mean, that poor gerbil's like, my life can't get worse than Petco. Oh God, worse. Oh my God, no. It's way worse.
Oh my
I
God.
shouldn't have. The gerbil's like, I should never say my life's not
Never
going to
gonna get worse.
But you don't remember the one I remember on your fucking pod the first time I did it. The woman who she found a rocks glass in her fucking urethra.
Oh, yeah.
In her
Yeah.
bladder. How to get there? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
You. What do you mean you don't
There's one entry point.
Yeah, there's one entry point. What are you fucking talking about?
Oh, I mean, there are
putting stuff in
people
the pee
with
hole. I can't. Like,
chargers, full like iPhone chargers up
the
their
ass.
asshole. Yes, all of it. I mean,
Get a
sounding
bigger
up the
carry-on
penis.
bag. What are these people doing here?
I mean, sounding. I mean, that whole thing.
What's sounding again?
Sounding is when you stick things in your
rod
penis.
into your penis.
No, I don't like that.
Full
on like a TV.
We were in
antenna.
Seattle. The name of the soccer team in Seattle is the Seattle Sounders. We're like, you guys do know.
Yeah.
You do know what that means. You know what sounding is. It's putting something into your day. We're like, that should be the name of the football team. That's how bad the football team's been. It felt like someone's sticking a hard thing in your day. But like, that is true. It's like, there is a thing. That's an excitement. That's a I don't want to yuck anyone's yum.
No,
that is a
but
thing.
I will
I've
at some
become,
point.
I literally am like, as long as you're not hurting kids or animals. I don't like the
the animals is bad.
I don't like the action figure. All right, that's not hurting
action
anyone.
figure's not going to put. You want to put Skeletor up there? Go for it. But like, as long as you're not hurting people or animals, I'm like, go do it.
But you
No,
could be
people are
hurting
putting stuff-
yourself.
that's the thing, but hurting yourself, and then you're
in the medical system, and now these people are dealing with your ass, literally.
Your literal ass.
Instead of maybe someone who really needs you.
But
right
they
now.
would all. I think they would make a triage moment and be like, let's let the guy who is like has a Pert Plus bottle up his ass. Let's let him
Wait for the
a little
gunshot
bit.
wound.
Yeah.
And we'll take
I
the
would
woman
hope.
whose like jugular was sliced.
But my thing with the butt stuff is that we're at a point where we know it needs a flared base. If you are elevating from a finger to a dick to a Pert Plus bottle, you know that there needs to be a hook on the way out. You know the butt sucks in.
So that you can
You get it out yourself.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. If you want to put stuff in your ass, put a handle on it.
I mean, this. I don't want to say this, but this is the Titan submersible whole situation. I mean, if they would have put a string on that
handle on it.
motherfucker, you pull it up when problems start.
I've never seen something go so viral and so many people make fun of it.
Because it's literally a tragedy. Like, people full on died, and we get on stage at the Comedy Store, and we're like, please do not tell us what happened to the submersible. We DVR'd it, and we're waiting to hear it. We're like 2 episodes behind, so just let us know.
No spoilers.
Please, while we're on stage.
We're so excited for the mission.
I literally
I would rather. Our other joke is I would rather be in a submersible watching my air level go down
Next to the Titanic.
than have to listen to James Cameron tell us about his creative process while making the Titanic. Less air in that scenario. I know one is going to end.
I was saying that of course it's a pussy joke, that my pussy looks old and weathered, like something you'd find in a maritime museum. Like, it's actually, people take the submersible down there to go look at it. It looks like the bottom of the Titanic. It was getting good last week, and it got good last week. It did.
I have billionaires taking submersibles inside of it.
Yeah. And they are like, we've made a huge mistake. We've made a...
They're all billionaires.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
they're still people. But
Except for there's a kid in there.
There was a kid in there?
Yeah, a 19-year-old son of one of the billionaires.
Oh, I didn't know
like,
that.
he didn't want.
and there was an adventurer person who's like a guide, but like
I was listening to an actual explorer who was like, these people are not explorers. And one of the guys, this guy I was listening to him on NPR, one of the guys, he told him several times, do not go down there. He's like, I love you, PH. Do not go down there. Please do not. This thing has not been tested. This is a joke. Don't do it. And he's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's like, don't do it. So these people were warned several times. And the billionaire people are like, I can do whatever I want. I have all the money in the world. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'll just do whatever I want. And so like that, you know,
no one's relating to them at all. That's the issue. Like, what it cost for them for one trip,
$250K.
people are like, I've never seen that kind of money.
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
Right.
I will say, I love how, if you see on TikTok how they've been using the thing with Bill Hader, where it's like, and it's all these memes. Like, every video is Bill Hader like dancing and looking back, and it's like, billionaires are dead and the wives are partying. And it's like, it's a very hilarious that he's become the face of this.
The face, and I'm sure he doesn't want to.
No, there's no way
He's
he
like,
doesn't want to.
why did I do this comedy bit?
Why? Who cut that out? And why do they make this? So those are the worst things you've ever heard?
I mean,
if you can think of all of them.
I mean,
the one that's like,
that was probably the word. The full shampoo bottle.
I mean, to me, the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life is the human centipede. That is like
that's
an
bad.
insane.
That's not real. Was that based on a real thing?
To sew someone's mouth to someone else's asshole and like.
That's lore. That's not,
Is it lore? The gerbil was lore.
Yeah, no.
I mean, is it lore?
No, I feel like
think it's
with
lore.
horror movies come up with something like this, I'm like, that happened. Some sicko did this.
Somebody tried to do this. Someone definitely has tried. But yeah. No, I think that to me is like
that's bad.
There's like
it's bad.
because I don't know if I have like I have a small fear of being like buried alive. There's like some new horror movie out where like who's the guy? The guy he was in the Tom Perrotta thing with Kate Winslet, that awesome thing. Little Children or whatever. Little Children or whatever it was called. Anyway, like that guy's now in a horror movie, that actor, of like he goes into a MRI machine and then like he's just in there and something fucked up happens to his like brain and then like this crazy like clown thing like climbs through the middle of the thing and like he's trapped in the thing. So the trapped in a thing, I mean that's why the submersible thing like freaks me out so much. Being trapped, the claustrophobic nature of that. So there
maybe that's why people stick things in their assholes. They're trying to open themselves up a little bit.
Maybe. That's what it is. Maybe. And maybe they're trying to clean their ass if they're putting the Fort Plus up there. Maybe they have a really hairy ass.
Exactly. And cleaning, and if it's 2-in-1, you're cleaning and conditioning.
You're right.
So it kind of sits a little flatter.
It does sit a little flatter.
Like, man, I'm going to relax the hair in my ass.
Talk about that being hard to get out, trying to poop that out. You can't poop out the hemorrhoids. That's like, there's no way.
It's like you have to have such an open, like it has to be like the
wasn't there
Canadian pipeline?
No. Wasn't there an image on the internet? This is one of the earliest like viral images. You're probably even too young for this. There was something called Goatsy. Did you ever hear about Goatsy?
No, what's this?
Okay, Google it.
Right now?
Goatsy was somebody opening their assholes so wide.
No.
You will have to look at it.
I can't look at this.
It was so big and crazy that there was then a viral campaign of
just
people's
people
faces
watching
when they saw
Goatsy.
it for the first time.
So you're just, it's like,
now Google Goatsy reaction shots.
So literally it's just people's faces watching.
If you can't look at Goatsy, just look at the Goatsy reaction
So
shots.
it's a man's ass.
It's a man's ass.
What is it? Is his hands opening it? What is he doing?
His hands are opening it,
Maybe
but
it's an electric garage door opener.
No,
how big is it?
How big is it? How wide is it?
About a large softball.
Yes, thank you.
No, well, have you not come across gaping videos? I accidentally come across them. I do not like them.
No.
I hate gaping. Gaping. There should be a gape only website for people who don't want to see the gape. I see a gape site, and guess what? I have a hard time after that.
I mean,
I don't like gaping. I like butt stuff, but I don't like gaping.
This is comparable. This is the biggest. And then look at the reaction shots of people's faces.
Just people's faces watching Goatsy.
This is why I'm not a doctor, because I don't want to see inside a body.
Then wouldn't that ruin it, though?
Would it ruin it for, like, how do doctors set aside, like, let's say you're a gynecologist, and that's what you do all day long. It's like,
How do you see that?
Honey, I can't. I've been in it all day long.
Yeah. I would never have
Fleshner.
I would never have a man be a gynecologist to me.
Yeah,
I don't know how people can do that.
I don't know how
do they allow that?
I don't like it.
How do they
That
allow
can't be allowed anymore.
I don't. It's just not.
That's like breaking a HIPAA rule, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I had a hemorrhoid, and I thought it was butt cancer, and then I went to the doctor.
Thought it was butt cancer.
Yeah, it was a big lump. I was going back there, and then but then the nurse had to come in and watch. So it's like, if there always has to be a female coming in anyways.
I need someone to make sure
it's like,
he's
why
not
don't we
doing crazy.
just skip the middleman? Just have the woman in there mucking around.
Mucking around.
Mucking around. I don't want.
Let's
too
say
much.
you match on Tinder and whatever city you're going to go to next with a doctor. Do you then, and you guys are hooking up, do you have to invite a nurse in to watch it?
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Just
don't want to break any laws.
I just want you.
I tried.
You don't have to do anything, ma'am. I just want you to stand by with a blood pressure.
Yeah. Don't.
And this is a weird question to you, sir, but are you in my network?
She is now.
We match on LinkedIn after this. I tried making jokes this weekend about this guy who was like, I called him a cuck, and he didn't like that. And then I was like trying to joke that I think
a cuck or a cock?
A cuck.
Cuck.
Yeah, like who you know.
Someone who watches other people.
Yeah.
And then he was not finding it funny, so I was like joking. I'm like, I think I'd be a really annoying cuck because I don't think I wouldn't shut up.
That's right.
I'd be like talking the whole fucking time.
You'd be a cluck.
I'd be. But he was like getting so mad at me. I'm like, wouldn't that be hilarious if you're finally bringing someone back to fucking. He's like, anyways, the weather is.
Yeah, it's like what
are you doing over there now?
Yeah.
Is she liking that?
You heard about that coup in Russia? You got to make a video of this, and it's you just loudly texting all the noises of the text. Does this bother you if I do this? I just got to send out a couple work emails.
I actually forgot to post a TikTok. Do you guys have any good hashtags I can use?
Yeah. What? I mean, it's a meme. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm enjoying watching.
Great.
Are you guys hungry? I'm actually going to order some Postmates.
I'm just going to get 2 and we can split it. Because right now that's kind of what's happening right now.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, we'll wrap this up in a second. What's the, it's short. I do an hour. In and out. Like I said,
In and out.
We're not mucking around.
We're not mucking around back there.
Around.
You are mucking around back there.
I'm mucking around back there. Did your parents ever say like weird things to you guys growing up about like body stuff? Yeah, like anything to scare you of like...
No.
I mean,
they didn't talk about it at all.
No, they did used to say, our dad, I think this was like early stand-up bit that we were trying to like develop when we were like teenagers and starting comedy, like 14, 15. Our dad did have a story about someone who lost an appendage for any like thing that we would do. That, hey, I know a guy who had his finger stuck, and don't mess with the socket because I know a guy who lost his
stuck a belt in the socket.
I know a guy. We're like, where'd you live? Like a leper colony? Like I think that was our joke, but it was sort of like one of those things where like, did no one have their full set of appendages where you lived? Because he always had a story about someone, and now as adults, as parents, he knew none of those people. It was just his way of trying to scare you so he didn't have to keep telling you to stop doing something.
Do you have to do that to your kids?
To my kids? No, my kids are like, I mean, you have a son. My daughters are far more like, sort of like, thoughtful about themselves. They have to like think about, unfortunately, they have to think about themselves in a lot more of a global way earlier.
Yes.
About like what's happening to them and what people, so like they are both of my daughters are very aware. One's 18, one's almost 16. They're very aware of themselves. And so I don't really talk to them about anything. I'm just like, my angle and my attitude, right or wrong, has been like, you guys just love yourself. Love yourself. Just you love yourself. And they're two very different kids. I'm like, you love yourself. If you love yourself, you're not going to do some thing that puts you in a bad spot or a bad situation. You're as much as you can control. You're not going to put yourself in a bad situation because you love yourself. So just that was my angle. I'm like, I'm going to lean into hard in believing and loving yourself. We'll see if it works. I think it has so far. It has totally so far.
That's that is parenting in a nutshell. You do what you think is right, and it's 100% right until it's 100% wrong.
Yeah, that one is wrong.
I hope I did that right.
Yeah, I look back at some things my parents did. I'm like, the hell are you guys thinking?
Right? Did they tell you? Did they try and tell you sexually? Don't do this. Don't do that.
No, they nothing but sexual stuff.
Nothing sexual.
That's why I think I'm a fucking pervert now.
Because you just are in the exploration mode that never was.
I guess, and I started late. I lost my virginity at 19, so I was like really like paranoid about stuff.
Have you found it?
I have not found it.
Would you tell your parents about sexual exploits or no?
No, I mean now they see my comedy.
Stand-up?
The problem is the issue is my dad follows me on Instagram and he'll like my nastiest posts.
No!
He watches all of them. Every fucking clip you see my dad and
I don't care if you
it.
watch it. Don't like it.
He likes it. And people are like, why did your dad like this? I'm like, I don't know. And then like I posted the first draft like last week and my dad liked it. It's like the first thing was like my comedy poster, then it was like pictures of me in a bikini because I'm like, gotta get the likes up there. And then my dad liked it. My sister screenshots and she's like, why the fuck is dad liking this? I'm like, I don't think he knows how to scroll the photos.
No, he doesn't know. And I think he accidentally tapped twice.
I tapped it.
It's weird that he duetted it, okay? I think that was fucked up.
No, I feel like if I had kids, though, I'd be very like... I would not want them to behave as I am behaving.
I mean, or you do it like, look, here's what I will say. It's when your kids, the worst that you can have from them is them to not tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, that's
worse than them telling you some shit's going down.
I'm like,
I told them, tell me everything. Be honest. Tell me all of it, everything.
It'll save you from getting in trouble.
And then my job as a parent is to temper my real reaction.
Yes.
And so that I can stay in the conversation. You just want to be involved in the conversation as long as possible so that they can feel like they can talk to you and not be judged by you, even though you're judging the hell out of them. No, you're not. You're trying not to.
I mean, actually,
like
like we've seen so much. My wife, like, she followed the Grateful Dead around for went to 165 Grateful Dead shows like in high school and beyond, lived on a converted school bus in Santa Cruz for a year before she went off to college.
she's seen a lot of stuff in her day.
My wife's a therapist. Like
we both have been to
know.
Burning Man.
They've been to Burning Man.
Seen some
we
shit.
lived in New York. We're comedians. We live in this
yeah.
world where like talking to you, this is our job, coming on this podcast and talking about things people stuck in their assholes. So nobody is going to say something that's going to shock us and make us feel uncomfortable. So I'd rather you tell me everything that's going on, everything that's going on with your body, everything that people are telling you or doing with you or what you expect to have done so that we can weigh in. It's just people who are like, in a way, like, okay, that's good, but maybe you wait on this something and let's see about this and make sure this is with someone. Make sure if you have a son, make sure the person who you're doing it with is actually consenting.
It's a different
responsibility.
It's a totally different responsibility.
Son and daughters are very different.
Yeah, you're like, they have to be into it. They have to want to do it. You have to follow their lead, really, at this point, because you don't want to be in a bad situation and you don't want someone to feel uncomfortable. So, like, that, you got to know what's going on. You can't be in the dark. So, whatever you can do to not be in the dark. So, we hear more than your parents or our parents or way more than our parents.
And that's also like, it's so different now. Like, there's stuff like, It's very
It's generational, but like, it is good to be. You don't want to be too involved as well. You also want to be there's a certain level of like, you don't want to helicopter over their
helicopter parent all the way up into their 20s.
Yeah.
No,
it's like, I'm dropping you off at this orgy and I'm going to hang out a little while. They didn't specify.
Here's the condoms.
Text me when 3 people have come. When 3 people come, I'll be the 4th.
Helicopter parent
I'll come by and pick you up.
Helicopter parents in an orgy is so funny. They're standing around the outside. We're like,
they have orange slices from the outside.
they're drinking.
You guys should stay hydrated.
Yeah. I just love that they're getting together.
Has she stretched? We'll stay out of it. We're just talking and catching up. But I'm going to leave in like 5. But you guys can start.
A couple of the parents all parked at their talking. Okay,
I'm sorry. I just have a quick question. What's the Hulu password? Did you change it? Anyway, stick your arm back in there. It's fine.
Yeah. Did you cut your nails? Okay.
Does she like that? Make sure she likes that if you're going to do that.
Helicopter. Sorry, it's only his second orgy. Honestly,
once he gets the hang of it, we're going to let him do it on his own. But for right now, we just want to be here.
Have you been to that restaurant, Bavel?
I haven't been. Do they make their own hummus there?
It's a Middle Eastern place.
Do they make their own hummus?
They do.
Is it warm?
Hey.
Make sure she knows that's coming. Okay. You don't want to surprise anybody with that.
This is going to be their next special. We are going to see this on their next fucking
Helicopter parents at an orgy.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the only impression we do
tonight.
Yes.
The funniest way that you could die.
Last question.
Yes.
Funniest way you both could die. It could be individual. It could be together. Who knows?
Funniest way we both could die.
Yes.
I'm kneeling and I'm peeing.
That is way creepier than you standing. Never knew that. It's so bizarre.
Don't even understand.
I have been to South America and I have peed into the Amazon River, and there was a moment where I was like, oh, that thing's gonna come up through my pee stream and it's gonna go into me and kill me.
There's like a parasite that can like just climb up the pee stream and go in.
Bad.
Swim against
that's
the
sick.
That?
How?
That's
Why?
what
What is that?
What's your problem, man? Like, are you that sick? And you're sucking up urine. That thing's a problem.
That thing,
I hate that
you
thing.
can't pee in the Amazon River.
I'm never peeing.
To me, like, again, I don't know. This is just us as kids. Like, when we were kids, our dad took us to get our hair cut at this barbershop that was in like the parking garage of a building. I'm like, it could not have been more underground. And the guy who did it, was a German barber named
Who was
Klaus.
probably about 49, 50, 55 in like 1970.
Like, where were you in 1940?
Yeah.
His name is
Fucking
Klaus the barber.
You speak like 2 words of English and
Klaus
you're German?
the barber. When you walked in, he had a fish tank, and in the tank, piranhas. Who has piranhas?
Well, like, Dad, how did you find this barber?
Like, why is he a barber shop in a garage? He's hiding out from something.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He's being hidden.
Yeah.
So
Klaus
to
the
me, dying by piranha is like, to me, would be like the craziest. I don't know how funny it would be, but it would be
kind of funny.
Yeah,
the craziest way.
Because you were getting a haircut and you just went, yeah. You just, there's always so much water.
It's just
Yeah.
just the teeth on those
The
things.
teeth, they are terrifying. Yeah.
They're
yeah.
terrifying.
And yours is Amazon P.
Amazon P thing up
that's
the
bad.
chute.
I hate it.
I guess we're
Dead.
both in the Amazon as this shit's
you're both,
happening to
you're
us.
both, you
Both
really,
animals, both outside
And
world.
Klaus is there just smoking. I told you to stay away from the bananas.
Don't touch this. I don't know if that's the funniest
That
thing.
is.
but
Well,
that's
that's
or
that.
something. Yeah.
That's that. There it is. Thank
There
you guys
you
for
go.
coming on. Where can
Of course.
where can everybody find you?
So start with your episode of Dumb People Town
Yes.
and listen to that podcast. I feel like if you guys, people who like this will absolutely love that. It's just
Yes.
we explore dumb people doing dumb things and we just break it down. It is so much fun. You were so good on that.
It's a riff fest.
Yeah.
Riff
Yes, it is
Fest, we
Riff
do that
Fest, yeah.
on All
Daniel
Things
Van Kirk.
Comedy with our buddy Daniel Van Kirk, who's fantastic. I don't know if you've ever had him on this
I
podcast.
should get
You
him on.
absolutely should.
Well, what Instagram can everyone follow you guys
So
on?
at Sklar Brothers on everything. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff.
Great. Go see the show. Thank you for doing this. Go listen to Dumb People Town. And thanks for listening to Steph Infection, sending your stories.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.